Octopuses are some of the most alien creatures on Earth, and here's one reason why. They have 3 hearts. 2 of those hearts pump blood to the gills, while the third pumps it to the rest of the body. What's even weirder is that when an octopus swims, the heart that pumps to the body actually stops beating. That's why octopuses prefer to crawl along the ocean floor instead of swimming all the time. It's just easier on their hearts. And get this, their blood isn't even red like ours, it's blue, thanks to a copper-based molecule called hemocyanin. That's a creature straight out of science fiction, but very real. Most people know dolphins are great breath holders, diving for minutes at a time without needing air. But believe it or not, sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. A dolphin can last about 10 minutes underwater, but sloths can slow their heart rate so much that they hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. They do this by cutting their heart rate in half, conserving oxygen while they hang upside down in trees. So while sloths may seem lazy, their bodies are secretly super efficient survival machines. The axolotl is often called the walking fish, but it's actually a salamander with a superpower: regeneration. If an axolotl loses a leg, it just grows a new one. But it doesn't stop there. They can regrow parts of their spinal cord, their jaw, even sections of their heart and brain. Scientists study axolotls to learn how regeneration might one day be possible for humans. Imagine if we could heal spinal cord injuries or regrow organs the way an axolotl does naturally. These little creatures may hold the key to the future of medicine. Elephants are more like us than we realize. They live in tight family groups, have deep social bonds, and when one of them dies, the others grieve. Herd members will touch the bones or body with their trunks, standing quietly for long periods of time. Sometimes they'll even cover the body with leaves or dirt, almost like a burial. And years later, elephants have been seen returning to the spot where a loved one died. That kind of memory and mourning is rare in the animal kingdom, and it shows just how emotionally complex elephants really are. Crows are smart. In fact, they're some of the most intelligent birds in the world. One of their most impressive skills? They can recognize human faces and remember them for years. In experiments, scientists who wore masks while capturing crows found that the birds remembered and reacted angrily to that same face long after the event. What's even crazier is that crows passed this knowledge on. Other crows who hadn't seen the capture learned to avoid or mob that same face. It's like a real-life wanted poster spreading through the crow community. So if you've ever upset a crow, don't be surprised if you're on their bad side for life. Here's a weird little trivia bomb. A shrimp's heart isn't in its chest. It's in its head. Specifically, the heart is located in the thorax, which sits right behind the head. That means if you've ever seen a shrimp, you were basically looking straight at its heart without realizing it. Shrimp are small but complex, with a circulatory system that pumps blue blood thanks to copper, not iron like ours. So while we think of their heads as just where the eyes and antennae are, that's actually where some of their most vital organs are packed in. The next time you see shrimp swimming, remember, they've got a lot more going on in that head than you think. Sea otters have one of the most adorable survival strategies in the animal kingdom. When they float on their backs to rest or sleep, they hold hands, or more accurately, they hold paws. This behavior, called rafting, keeps them from drifting away from each other in the current. Sometimes whole groups of otters will form a giant raft, all holding paws together. Beyond being cute, it's also a safety measure, keeping families close and preventing little ones from floating off. It's proof that sometimes survival looks pretty wholesome. The pistol shrimp looks small and harmless, but it packs one of the most powerful weapons in the ocean. With a snap of its claw, it shoots out a bubble that moves so fast it generates temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, nearly 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The bubble collapses almost instantly, creating a shockwave strong enough to stun or even kill nearby prey. And here's the kicker. The snap is so loud it can reach 200 decibels, louder than a gunshot. For a creature that barely reaches 2 inches in size, that's some serious firepower. Axolotls make the list again for another bizarre trait. They never really grow up. Unlike most amphibians that transform from aquatic larvae into land-dwelling adults, axolotls stay in their larval stage their whole lives. They keep their gills, tails, and aquatic lifestyle, but still become sexually mature adults. This phenomenon is called neoteny. It's like if a tadpole grew into a bigger tadpole, stayed in the water forever, and had frog babies without ever becoming a frog. It makes axolotls look like adorable little forever youths, and also makes them incredibly unique in the animal kingdom. Here's a fact that could trip up a crime scene investigator. Koalas have fingerprints so similar to humans that even under a microscope, they can be difficult to tell apart. Their ridges and loops mimic ours almost perfectly. This odd similarity likely evolved because both species rely heavily on touch and gripping, humans for tools, koalas for holding onto branches and climbing. While there's no record of a koala confusing police investigations, in theory, it could happen. So yes, if a koala ever broke into your house, it might leave behind fingerprints indistinguishable from your own. Some wasps have evolved a super creepy survival trick. They turn cockroaches into zombies. The jewel wasp stings a roach right in the brain, injecting venom that shuts down its ability to run away. But it doesn't kill the roach. Instead, the wasp literally leads the helpless roach by its antenna like a leash, dragging it into a burrow. Then it lays an egg inside the roach, and when the larva hatches, it eats the roach alive from the inside out. It's nature's version of a horror movie. A parasite that doesn't just kill its prey, it controls it first. Dolphins are some of the most intelligent animals on Earth. And one of the coolest proofs of that is that they use names. Each dolphin has a unique whistle that acts like an identity call, basically a name. They learn their own whistle early in life and respond to it when other dolphins call. Even years later, dolphins can recognize the whistles of old companions. Imagine swimming through the ocean and suddenly hearing your name called from half a mile away. That's what it's like in dolphin society. It shows just how advanced their communication really is. In the seahorse world, gender roles are flipped upside down. Instead of females carrying the babies, it's the males that get pregnant and give birth. The female deposits her eggs into a pouch on the male's belly, and he fertilizes and carries them until they hatch. He can carry hundreds of little seahorses at once, and when it's time, he goes through contractions and literally gives birth. Scientists think this might help the species survive by letting females immediately produce more eggs while males do the heavy lifting. So yes, in the ocean, it's the dads who go through labor. Blue whales are the largest animals to ever live, bigger than any dinosaur. Just how massive are they? Their tongues alone can weigh as much as an elephant, around 8,000 pounds. Imagine an elephant made entirely of muscle, sitting in the mouth of a whale. When a blue whale opens its mouth to feed, it takes in up to 100 tons of water and krill in a single gulp. Their sheer size is mind-boggling. But it's not just for show. Everything about them is engineered to eat the smallest food in the ocean. Tiny shrimp-like krill. On an enormous scale, tardigrades, or water bears, might be the toughest creatures alive. These microscopic animals look like little gummy bears with legs, but don't let their cuteness fool you. They can survive in space, withstand freezing and boiling temperatures, and shrug off radiation that would kill almost anything else. They do this by drying themselves out into a state called cryptobiosis, essentially pausing life until conditions improve. Scientists have even revived tardigrades after decades in this state. If there's ever a global apocalypse, odds are the last survivor will be a tardigrade. Some frogs have basically hacked winter survival. Species like the wood frog can literally freeze solid when temperatures drop. Their hearts stop beating, their blood stops flowing, and ice forms inside their bodies. To us, that sounds like instant death, but for them, it's just hibernation. When spring comes and things warm up, they thaw out and hop away like nothing happened. They survive because their bodies flood with natural antifreeze, sugars that protect their cells from bursting. It's a survival trick that seems impossible, but it works. In the penguin world, love starts with a rock. Male penguins will spend hours searching for the smoothest, most perfect pebble they can find. When he finds the right one, he presents it to a female like a gift. If she accepts, next time you see a butterfly land on a flower, it's not just resting, it's tasting. Butterflies have taste sensors on their feet, so when they land, they're actually sampling the surface. This helps them find the right plants for laying eggs and drinking nectar. Caterpillars are picky eaters, so a butterfly mom has to make sure she chooses the right plant. If the plant tastes right to her feet, she'll lay her eggs there. So in a way, butterflies walk around constantly licking the ground with their toes. Dogs don't just smell food or people, they can actually smell time. Here's how. As the day goes on, the way scent molecules move and settle in the air changes. Dogs' powerful noses can detect these tiny changes. That's why your dog might know it's time for you to come home before you even walk through the door. It can smell how long you've been gone. In a sense, dogs experience time through their nose, with every passing hour carrying its own unique smell. To them, time literally has a scent. Most animals are lucky if they can heal a cut or regrow a little tissue. But starfish, they can regenerate entire bodies. If a starfish loses an arm, it can grow a new one. In fact, in some cases, just one arm with part of the central body can regrow into a whole new starfish. This ability comes from a huge number of stem cells that stay active throughout their lives. It's a survival trick that's kept them thriving in oceans for hundreds of millions of years. So next time you see a starfish, you're looking at one of nature's ultimate survivors. Cheetahs are famous for speed, but what makes them incredible isn't just how fast they run, it's how fast they get there. A cheetah can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, faster than most sports cars. Their long, flexible spines act like springs, their claws grip the ground like cleats, and their huge nasal passages deliver oxygen at high speed. They can't keep it up for long, only 20 to 30 seconds. But that's all they need to take down prey in a lightning-fast burst. It's the ultimate sprint in nature. Ants may be tiny, but when they work together, they can achieve unbelievable feats. Some ant species form living bridges by linking their bodies together, allowing the colony to cross gaps. Others survive floods by building rafts out of their own bodies, with the queen safely at the center. Each ant acts like a living Lego piece, and the whole structure moves and adapts as needed. No single ant is in charge. It's collective intelligence at work. Together, they function almost like a single superorganism. The narwhal is sometimes called the unicorn of the sea. But that horn sticking out of its head? It's not a horn at all. It's actually a giant tooth. This spiral tusk can grow up to 10 feet long, and it's packed with millions of nerve endings, making it an incredible sensory tool. Narwhals use it to sense changes in the water, and males even joust with their tusks in mating displays. Scientists think it might also play a role in social status. So, what looks like a unicorn horn is really the world's weirdest tooth. Ever seen an owl turn its head and wondered how it doesn't snap its neck? Owls can rotate their heads up to 270 degrees in either direction. Humans can barely manage 90 without injury. Owls pull this off thanks to extra vertebrae in their necks, special blood vessels, and a backup blood storage system that keeps the brain supplied even when twisted. This super flexibility lets them scan their surroundings without moving their bodies, crucial for a predator that relies on stealth. It's a built-in surveillance system. Bats are often mistaken for birds, but they're actually the only mammals that can truly fly. Their wings are made of thin skin stretched over elongated finger bones, basically giant hands turned into wings. This design makes them incredibly agile in the air, able to dart, hover, and even fly upside down. Unlike flying squirrels or gliders, bats generate lift with every flap. They're also ecological powerhouses. Some eat insects, others pollinate plants or spread seeds. Without bats, ecosystems, and even human agriculture, would collapse. Some lizards have one of the most bizarre defense strategies in the animal kingdom. They literally squirt blood out of their eyes. Horned lizards found in North America can rupture small blood vessels near their eyes, spraying streams of blood up to 5 feet. They do this to startle predators, and the blood even has chemicals that taste awful to canines like coyotes and foxes. Imagine being a predator ready for dinner, and suddenly your prey shoots blood right in your face. It's both gross and genius, survival, lizard style. The mimic octopus is a true master of disguise. While many octopuses can change color and texture to blend in, the mimic octopus takes it further. It can impersonate other sea creatures. Scientists have seen it stretch into the shape of a lionfish, flatten itself like a stingray, and even slither like a sea snake. By copying dangerous or unappetizing animals, it tricks predators into leaving it alone. This isn't just camouflage, it's performance art. In the ocean, the mimic octopus is basically a shape-shifting actor. Mantis shrimp may be small, but they deliver one of the fastest punches in the animal kingdom. Their club-like claws strike with the speed of a bullet, moving so fast that the water around them boils and creates shockwaves. This hit is strong enough to break aquarium glass, stun crabs, and even crack open clamshells. Their punches happen in just milliseconds, faster than the blink of an eye. And beyond their knockout punch, mantis shrimp also have some of the most advanced eyes in nature, capable of seeing polarized light and ultraviolet, a superhero in shrimp form. Deep in the icy waters of the Arctic swims the Greenland shark, the longest living vertebrate on the planet. These sharks grow incredibly slowly, about an inch per year, and can live for more than 400 years. That means some Greenland sharks alive today were born before Shakespeare wrote his plays. They don't even reach sexual maturity until they're about 150 years old. Scientists figured out their age using radiocarbon dating of proteins in their eyes, and the results stunned the world. These sharks are living time capsules, drifting through centuries beneath the sea. The platypus is already one of the strangest mammals. It has a duckbill, lays eggs, and even has venomous spurs. But here's one more bizarre fact. Platypus mothers don't have nipples. Instead, they secrete milk through pores in their skin, and their babies lap it up straight from the fur. It looks like they're sweating milk. This unusual system might actually protect their young, since the milk spreads across the mother's skin and contains extra antimicrobial properties.